Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over the 5 things that I love about the 2022 Lexus RX. Before we get in the video though, I do want to mention if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get in the video. So the first thing that I love about the new RX has to pertain to the fuel economy. So this should be a pretty quick point. You guys can see the EPA rating here, 31 around town, 28 on the highway, which is really solid for an SUV of this size. And then I have to now pop over to the other side. Okay, so now that we are here on the other side, you can start it up. And it'll take a minute. And you guys can see now, averaging what I've been getting driving this. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. For the size of SUV, it gets good fuel economy. So the number 2 thing has to pertain to the looks of the RX. So first off, this one finished in this blue paint looks so cool. But I love the RX style cues, and sorry that this is super dirty. It's been raining like every single day, well at night usually. But yeah, with Lexus's LED accent lights, I've always loved how those look, and then the headlights themselves. And then this one has the F Sport package, which kind of darkens a lot of the accent pieces, including the wheels here on the RX, and then the mirrors. You got a little F Sport badge right there. And yeah, I just think it's a really good looking vehicle. It's got a bunch of sharp, sleek lines. I even like the front grille, which a lot of people will kind of complain about on the Lexi, whatever you want to say it as the plural. Yeah, I think it's a good looking vehicle from an outside perspective. So yeah, again, pretty self-explanatory point, so we won't spend too much time on it, but yeah, I think Lexus did a good job with the styling. So the number 3 thing has to pertain to the interior. Okay, so we'll do the back first, and then we'll go to the front. So first off, I mean, it's a luxury car, so it's got nice materials. But I think they did a good job with the design. Everything kind of has a solid feel to it. And then same thing with the seats. Now, Lexus does some crazy colors. This is pretty, toned down. But Lexus will do like bright red seats, for example. You can get like cream colored seats and everything. And so, again, even in toned down form, I just love all of the stitching. And you can see there's just a lot happening here in the seat. And then you imagine this being like bright red or something. Pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, overall, the interior is pretty straightforward. But well, this is mostly about the design here of the interior. And you can see the front door panel, same thing. And then same thing with the front seat. Headrest has always looked pretty cool. But yeah, they do a really good job, and the seats are comfortable too, which is a big plus. And then the steering wheel setup, I think the steering wheels, the airbag cover, not necessarily a huge fan of how this kind of looks, but the rest of it, the F Sport logo there at the bottom, I think looks great. And just the general design here, how they have everything set up with the controls and all that, might not necessarily look the most modern per se, but it looks nice. And like how they connect the stitching lines there. There's just a lot of little nice things here in the car that kind of, I don't know, just bring things up. And also soft headliner, not scratchy cloth, which is definitely, well, a big plus. So the number 4 thing has to pertain to the quality. You guys probably know at this point that Lexus is the luxury offshoot of Toyota, and so it just has really good build quality. So you guys can see first off, like look at how everything lines up just as it should from the factory. And just listen to this, like everything just has like a solid sound to it when you open and close it. And then, here we already kind of went over the interior, but like everything feels like just super solid. And you can see like the leather, all of it, you can just tell this is going to last for a long time. And just everything that you touch doesn't feel like it's fragile, it's going to fall apart. Like you feel like you can almost be rough with a lot of the stuff here in the interior. And then if we pop over here to the front, same thing, right? Just there's no like rattling, right, with any of this stuff. And if we pop here, see all the controls? I don't know, I feel like I could do this like 5,000 times and it's still gonna work. And then same thing with the shifter, right? It has a sturdy feel to it. Just everything in here, just, it's not necessarily the nicest from a material standpoint, but just the overall quality of all of the controls, I think is great. Glove box included, right? Little button system. But yeah, I don't know, I just, like, you can tell that this interior, again, like I said, not necessarily the nicest, most opulent interior on the planet, but I mean, in 15 years from now, this is still going to look like it looks today, pretty much. You know, a little bit of wear and tear on the seats and stuff. But yeah, it's like the dash isn't going to be falling apart and all that kind of stuff. And so you can definitely tell the quality is top notch. So the fifth and final thing is the fact that a lot of stuff in the RX is just simple to use. So first off, we have a normal key fob here. We have our lock, unlock, and then the opening for the hatch. I mean, the remote start is buried in the lock function, so I guess that's not so simple to use. But everything else is pretty straightforward. Keyless entry. You just put your hand on the back. And then when you want to lock it, you just press that little button right there. And again, it's very obvious, very straightforward. Some manufacturers, right, they make things really complicated, like that Mercedes, just saying. That thing's, it's a nightmare to unlock and lock it. Anyways, everything else, again, it's just so nicely labeled, and it's all straightforward. Like window controls and everything's in the normal location, right? So that's another thing. I mean, think about this. Memory seats here on the side of the door. Seat adjustments on the side of the seat. And then popping up here, notice we've got all these controls here off the side. Again, it's very nicely labeled. So it's like, okay, that's a camera. That's for the gas. Heads up display, right? HUD. Heated steering wheel. And then the controls here on the steering wheel, same exact thing. We've got like our pages here. We've got stuff, all the cruise control stuff is all like right in the same area, which I really like. And then your volume, voice command controls, again, all of the stuff that's associated with like the infotainment system and calling, again, all in the same area. And then in terms of the stocks, you know, pretty straightforward with that. And then actually we'll pop it on. And then, right, radio controls, you got like your radio control section. And then you got climate control section down below. It's not like mixed together. Some manufacturers will kind of mix the buttons in the same like section. That's not the case here with the RX. And then you guys can see here with the heated seat controls, cooled seat controls, again, all in the same place. And then infotainment system controls down here, all in the same place with the keypad, right? And then you can see here with the gauge cluster, again, pretty straightforward with all the stuff. Like you got your, you know, basically vehicle, like fuel economy tab, and then you got safety tech stuff, and again, pretty straightforward with that. And then all the drive mode select stuff is all in the same place, right? Drive mode select, EV mode, stability control, all in one section. So yeah, the point I'm trying to make is everything's easy to use, and it's very nicely labeled, and it all makes sense. Like there's sections for everything. And so like I imagine if you're not a car person and you get into this, it'll be like an easy experience for you. And also like the fact that this is a touchscreen, but then it also has the keypad here. So like you can double down, right? So you're like, oh, I want to use touchscreen, right? I'm used to that. Or I'm used to keypad. They have both that. So yeah, I think Lexus has just done a good job with putting everything together in this car so that, again, it's very user-friendly. So that's pretty much going to sum things up for our video on the 5 things that I love about the 2022 Lexus RX. Overall, it's a really solid daily driver vehicle that gets great fuel economy. It's got good space, and you know, it looks really nice too. It looks the luxury car part. It has the luxury car interior, and you know, it's got that durability aspect to it. There's just a lot to love about the new Lexus RX. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below what your favorite thing about the Lexus RX is. And with that being said, I'll see all of you in the next video.